first of all say how, as I've just said, how important it is for us to hear from people who have personal first-hand experience of treatment in the Ulster Hospital. This is a public inquiry, and it's very important for us that we hear from the public as well as from the providers of the service and people who plan the services. So what I'd like you to do is tell us about your own experience in attending the Ulster Hospital on 2 occasions in 2013. Take as much time as you need. We may ask you questions as we go along. We may ask you questions afterwards. But just first of all, tell us about your particular experience.
Well, on the last one was this time last year, basically late August, early September last year. I was rushed up an ambulance, BNA, seen basically almost immediately in resus. Done all that I had to do. Excuse me.
Okay.
Seen almost immediately. My daughter was out of the country at that stage, and there was only my wife, which is back there in the wheelchair with me. I have absolutely no complaints. The staff listened to what they were told. They listened to the needs that I need. Once I'm out of the wheelchair, I'm totally useless. Basically, I can't move. My only thing is the length of time that you have to sort of wait on the air matters. You have to wait till you get the award, naturally enough. And that is the main complaint, the only complaint that I would really have on my treatment. Initially, they would come up with a course of treatment which was unsuitable, and or maybe not unsuitable, but when I'm lying flat, I would choke. And once that was explained to them, the whole course of treatment, they would go away and talk about it, and sort of change that all round.
Can I ask you just a couple of questions? I'm very pleased to hear you've had a very good service. Did you come into the hospital by way of an ambulance, or?
Both times, yes.
Yeah, and so how you were treated in the ambulance as well as in the emergency department, were you happy with both of those?
Truth, I can't remember what I was like in the ambulance.
Okay.
I was injected on both occasions prior to travel. As I say, I just don't remember the journeys.
Yeah, okay.
So I got there, I was a bit the world of my own again.
And what was it that had happened that had led you to have to go to hospital?
Bowel collapse, apparently. I ended up in hospital, as I say. It was late August, early September. I was in for 10 days, total collapse of the bowel, both A&E and the ward. I couldn't complain at all. They couldn't do what they wanted to do with operation-wise on me. I was treated, what's the word I'm looking for? Conservatively, that's it. And I'm here now.
Great. And my final question was just, you said your daughter was away the first time?
My daughter was at a conference. She is research, doctor research, and she was out of the country the last time.
So was your wife, who you said is also in an electric wheelchair,
yes,
was she able to accompany you, or did you have to come?
She travelled in the ambulance. They actually let her travel in the ambulance with me.
Okay.
I think they thought they were going to lose me on the way up the road.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions. Marion, do you want to?
No, I'm just pleased that you felt so reassured with the treatment you received.
Well,
A&E and more.
I have been in quite a few times over this last years, and as I say, the only thing is, once you're off out of the wheelchair, no body fat on the hard surface can be very painful if you're there for any length of time. And other than that, I can't think of anything else. I have not had a bad time at all with any of them at any stage.
Okay.
I think the wife's trying to say something to me. So.
Yes.
Can I just add one thing to follow up to your question?
Yes, of
When you
course.
asked about the ambulance care, we were actually not impressed, not the last time, but the time before it, that we sent in a letter of thank you to say thanks very much for listening to us, basically. When they arrived, they wanted to do one thing. We explained about Dad's rare condition. They took that into account. They adapted, they were excellent, they were fabulous, and we sent a letter of thanks. There is no way to send a letter of thanks on the website. We had to put it in as a complaint and put it in the header line. This is not a complaint, this is a thank you. I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay. No, I think that's really important, and that might well be a very useful recommendation for trusts. And that's a kind of interesting that they're so geared up for dealing with dissatisfied customers that they haven't geared themselves up for dealing with very satisfied customers. So I'm really glad you've given us that piece of information, because that's really useful.
The trust I actually do, I'm there quite often with one thing and another, and age-related mainly. As you're getting older, you start to get worse. Truth, over the years, I've found very little problems with ANAs or hospital wards.
And I'll follow up a very quick additional question. A couple of times it's come up in the course of the inquiry, and we are in early days in the public hearings, where the hospitals haven't got the details and the information about the person, even though they might have visited on emergency department on a number of occasions. I mean, do they, generally speaking, know about you and your circumstances on your needs when you arrive, or do you still have to tell them each time and then they listen?
Tell them, I have SMA. They don't know what SMA is.
So they haven't got
they haven't got the initial. Once your records come in, the staff on NE still may not know what SMA is, or even staff in the wards. Once it's explained to them, the care needs and the websites that they can check it out on, you then get the care as required.
Yeah. So you still have to explain each time?
Every time you have to sort of, I need X treatment.
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10 you're listened to without a problem.
Okay. Great. I have no further questions. Any?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Barry, thank you. And one thing for us to emphasise is that, and we've said this all along, we want to hear both experiences that have been problematic, but we also want to hear from people who have had a really good service. And I think one of the earlier people who gave evidence said, for example, from Carers Northern Ireland, we only tend to hear from people when things go wrong, not when things go well. So it's really important for us that we hear when things go well as well.
Go well at times.
So thank you. Thank you very much indeed.